right away, this is a very interesting matchup. Right away, the very first turn. Oh my god, the one-hit KO, are you kidding me? So clearly I was wrong. I've said it time and time again, you need to be prepared for the Marshadow. Look out for the Dandozo on this team. If you don't have an answer for that, then it's game, you've already lost. This is a very bad position. Yeah, that body press damage is coming out hard. He's got the speed. He's got the type advantages. He jaw locked him? When this match came in, the chat instantly lit up and I knew we had a good replay on our hands. From what I understand this is bad. I'm not sure exactly what makes it bad, but let's find out. It's pretty fantastic that actually happened because it's not often my prediction comes out correctly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna start with our replays this week by watching Tylord versus Haymaker. Very excited for this match. I believe they are both at the top of their division currently. So let's just jump right into it. So Ampharos versus Sceptile. Right away, this is a very interesting matchup. Right away, the very first turn. So this is a lightning rod Pokemon, which means it is immune to electric type attacks as Ampharos is an electric. However, Ampharos' Mold Breaker ability, when it Mega Evolves, it gains Mold Breaker, means it ignores abilities like Lightning Rod. Now, is Haymaker paying attention to the fact that that he could very well get electric attacks here? I don't know. We'll see what goes on here. As Tylord opts for the charge attack, which boosts his special defense and I think doubles the power of his next electric attack, but decides he doesn't care about his boost. He wants to get rid of the Leech Seed, so he switches out to the Ninetales. And looks like Haymaker's getting away with it. He gets a Toxic down. He starts sub-stalling out the Ninetales, and he really could just keep subbing here as he was faster than the Ninetales. So I kind of disagree with the decision to switch there, but looks like Tylord doesn't and expected the switch and uses that turn to set his Aurora Vet. Now Ninetales being toxic, it's okay. Ninetales don't like to stay in very long, so you're not going to get a ton of damage over time, but it's better than nothing. And it looks like Haymaker's doing a good job of spreading status around this match, having already burnt the Gastrodon and Toxic. Looks like Tylord, on the other hand, is failing. He's missing his Toxics and not really getting what he needs down. Now the Ninetales is back in, which is an advantageous matchup for the Sceptile if the Sceptile wasn't faster and capable of continuing to subseed. Because right now he can just keep subbing. Oh, he goes for a Roar, forcing the Ninetales out and the Feraligatr in. Now the Feraligatr, let me pause here and talk about this. The Feraligatr is one of Tylord's preferred sweepers. It has just an uncontrollable amount of power, and if it Dragon Dances to boost its speed, it very well can just sweep your entire team. However, Tylord likes to keep that in his back pocket. Once you've ran out of defensive answers to the Feraligatr, that's when he likes to play it. So, Haymaker, forcing the Tylord to play this Feraligatr early, may play out advantageously for Haymaker in the long run, kind of taking away that Bishop piece that Tylord likes to use. As Haymaker gets a Leech Seed down, and Tylord just opts to Dragon Claw for the free KO. I don't know if Haymaker thought he scared off a Feraligatr, but he didn't reveal any Grass-type attack, so we knew nothing bad was going on. Goes for the Togekiss, who tries to Thunder Wave and slow down the Feraligatr. A good decision, I think, but, you know, getting the Ninetales was immune to the Thunder Wave due to its already having a status condition. Skeledirge comes out, type advantage, very good. Skeledirge, some people don't expect to be a sweeper, but if it gets too many Torch Song boosts, it absolutely can. See, he Torch Songs here, which gives him a special attack boost. You let him get away with too many of those, and this defensive wall Skeledirge can absolutely sweep your team if you're ill-prepared. Now, Tylord, getting his own opportunities to status, is spreading Poison. He's got a Toxic down on just the Togekiss, but that's a very good Pokemon to get a Toxic down on, because it likes to sit there. Maybe Nasty Plot, or Roost, or Defog. It looks like it's spreading Paralysis this week with Thunder Wave, and it's not going to be able to do that as well now that it can't stay in as long. And so I think it's very important that Haymaker clocks the Gastrodon for the Toxic and keeps it as far away from his Skeledirge as he can. Haymaker, all right, let's talk about this. Haymaker has been spending most of this game worrying about keeping status on Tylord's team, and Tylord has revealed a Heal Bell, getting rid of all that status and undoing all of Haymaker's work thus far. That's huge. Skeledirge trying to do damage, and Gastrodon actually gets the Stealth Rocks up. I think I would have preferred to have the Toxic down on the Skeledirge here. Decisions, what can you do? Skeledirge is a huge threat on Haymaker's team. If you're unprepared for this Pokemon, it's pretty hard to break through. Can Ampharos break through it? Who knows? But the burn would have done nothing. The Cotton Guard making it even harder to remove the Ampharos now, as Haymaker has missed 2 Will-O-Wisps in a row, allowing Ampharos to just boost freely. Very unfortunate. And now it's got a special defense boost, and it's Dragon Pulsing, almost 2-hit KOing the Skeledirge, mind you. But due to the unaware, I don't think he really cares about these charge boosts. Oh my god, the 1-hit KO. Oh my god, the 1-hit KO, are you kidding me? So clearly I was wrong. So I think the charge, because it's not a stat boost, but just like an attack boost, it's sort of like an underlying thing. It doesn't give a shit. Once again, Haymaker, constantly having the right Terra type on this Electros, has opted for a Fairy type Electros. Who knows why he did that, but perfectly calls the Dragon Pulse and Terra Fairies and is now immune. Perfectly well done, Haymaker. As always, one of the best Terra type users in our league. He's managing to chip down this Ampharos, but he's in a hole right now, ladies and gentlemen. He is down 4-6, as Tylord is almost untouched. I mean, there's no rocks up, his team is barely statused, and he's got all of his hitters left. As Palifin-hero has finally revealed himself, and Scizor gets a Bullet Punch off, doing 17% chip. That's nice, but it looks like a Life Orb Scizor, so they're kind of taking equal amounts of damage there almost. The Palafin, 33% Drain Punching? That's not bad. If this is like a sub Palafin here, then Haymaker's in a great position. Oh, and if his attack rolled a little bit higher, if he got that 37%, he could have won, but instead leaves the Gastrodon with 1% HP left. Now, I'm not letting my Palafin get toxic here. And now the Gastrodon resists the Drain Punch and is immune to the water type attack. So Palafin cannot handle a Gastrodon at all in this position. So now we have the Togekiss for Alligator matchup, something we saw earlier where Tylord decided to switch out, and it looks like he's repeating it again. Again, he doesn't like this. He doesn't want Thunder Wave slowing down the Feraligatr. He doesn't want to get Paraflinched, but now the Ninetales is in a position to get Paraflinched. And will it? No. Ninetales breaks through the paralysis, breaks through the flinch, and manages to get up a second, third Aurora Veil yet this turn. As he gets flinched here, are we seeing finally the end of the Ninetales? As Haymaker decides to use his last 2% HP, the last of his Hamon, to get a defog off and remove these rocks. Now, why did he consider these rocks so important? We have yet to see, but Buzzwole hits the field. He has been using a Scarf Buzzwole for most of this season. So let's see if he goes for this again. He gets a free KO, getting that attack stat boosted right away. If this is Scarf, he's liking the position. Iron Head can hit a lot of this team, proving not Scarf. Dual Wing beating a bug type is great. That attack stat, almost 1-hit KOs. Scald goes off. Does it burn? No burn is absolutely monstrous. This game is starting to heat up, right? We're looking, Haymaker's making a comeback. He is now evened the score 3-3. Now, does Tylord have the answer to stop the Buzzwole sweep? It is an incredibly defensive Pokemon, extraordinarily hard to KO. As he goes for a Spectral Thief, OHKOing the Electros, but not giving him any sort of stat boost, the Palafin hits the field. Is Haymaker prepared for the Marshadow? I've said it time and time again, you need to be prepared for the Marshadow. What does the Palafin do? Is he the answer? The Zen Headbutt! Oh, baby boy, he tanks the Poltergeist, the strongest hit that a Marshadow has, and returns with the Zen Headbutt, the most masterful solution to the Marshadow we have seen thus far. Do we know if there was defensive EVs in there? I don't know. But can Tylord pull this game out? I see a Pokemon potentially with a dual wing beat. It's Life Orb, so it's clearly offensive. A dual wing beating Scizor can for sure handle the Buzzwole. Can we get some votes in the chat? What are people predicting? Are we predicting a Haymaker win or a Tylord? Because this is coming down to the final moments. Personally, I think this still favors Tylord. But God, if I wouldn't love to see an upset. Let's see how this game plays out. He switches into the Buzzwole. And what does he reveal? A Swords Dancing, Life Orb, Scizor. These hits are gonna hurt. But does he have the dual Wing Beat to break through the Buzzwole? He gets Drain Punched. Huge damage. The Buzzwole has the sustaining damage. Scizor going for more. As he Bullet Punches, critical hit! Can somebody pull up the damage calculator? Can somebody pull up the damage calculator? Would that KO without the crit? I don't think it does, but it is a damn close attack. As the Jet Punch comes out, we are now in a one-on-one situation. Palafin versus the Feraligatr. The Jet Punch, is it a banded Jet Punch? It is. It is a choice banded Jet Punch versus whatever kind of Feraligatr. So Palafin is winning in terms of speed. But is it winning in terms of raw power and tank ability? I think it is. I think Palafin wins. Is this the win for Haymaker right here? Let's see. The Jet Punch doing only 26%. What can the Feraligatr muster? 27%, but it's Life Orb. The Jet Punch may be able to KO here. With 13% HP left, the Palafin is just able to nose out victory. Well, that was a hell of a match. Very well done. You can't be upset about a loss like that. Both players played extraordinarily good games. That was great. I enjoyed that match, guys. Thank you for submitting that. Thank you for telling me to play this first, because what a way to start off our Sunday, isn't it? Holy shit. So he goes into the Skarmory. Not sure why he thinks that's a positive matchup versus Rabasca. It's kind of like neutral. They both kind of get whatever they want, but he's able to go Marowak freely as the taunt comes down. Now, you're not going to see a boost, but we could see a strong Flare Blitz as he immediately goes for the Terrafire, hitting as hard as he can into the Toxipex, only doing a measly 41%. So it's probably a physical Toxipex with that kind of damage. As he knocks off the Thick Club, which seems to have been knocked off just about every week now, the Marowak has been neutered, losing a double power boost from the Thick Club. Toxipex goes for the Baneful Bunker. As the Marowak decides to Swords Dance, he's not neutered now. He's firing on all cylinders. What does he have? Does he have an Earthquake? He does have an Earthquake. See, this is a kind of a bad matchup, but if the Wonder Review has the foresight to Earthquake again, he could actually hit a Charizard X. As he ends up Flare Blitzing, doing only 33%. See, a Dragon Dance Charizard X has sweeping potential on pretty much everything, but there are two, count them, two potential unaware users on this team in Clodsire and Quagsire. And it's just boosting right away is not the move versus the Wonder Review. You're looking for Chip, you're looking for Stealth Rocks, you're looking for Taunt. You're wearing him down until you can handle these answers. And Toxic is also really not something you want to bring versus a team with two poison types. So Galvantula, Volt switching out, webs haven't gone up, entry hazards haven't managed to go up for either team. As Wonder Review gets another Swords Dance up, and let's pause that. As the Future Sight goes off, taking Charizard down to 11%. He's gonna have a really hard time finding his Dragon Dance position now. As the Earthquake goes off, handling the Marowak. Ditto comes out, wants to copy. Usually you see Scarf Dittos, but he just hasn't been running them lately. Again, Flare Blitzing for the second time with a different Pokemon into a Toxapex. Very interesting how that's happened twice this match. If I had a nickel for every time. Knockoff comes out, knocks off the Slowking's Assault Vest. Doesn't really matter as there's not too many specially offensive Pokemon on Name Bad Words team. Scald comes out, breaks out the Galvantula Sash, 29%. So really, I'm gonna try and stop commenting here and start saying like what I think needs to be done. I think that the Clodsire and the Quagsire need to be removed. Name Bad Word needs to find a way to remove these guys if he's going to find his win condition. Whereas the Wonder Review's win condition looks a lot like Scarf Ditto. If he could maybe let Name Bad Word Dragon Dance his Charizard, he can win. Or if the Pheromosa gets out and starts beast boosting too hard, he can take the Ditto and win. He's lost his Marowak for the Trick Room win now. And I think he's looking for a Ditto win. Unless he wants to use the Rabasca. So I guess another win condition could be Revival Blessing into the Marowak, get the Trick Room, and he could easily Flare Blitz and Earthquake to the rest of this team, but he's going to need to pop the balloon on the Dugtrio first. As he gets the Stealth Rocks up, And the Future Sight has done almost 200% damage in this game. Now, the Ditto comes out, and it KOs the Dugtrio. But now it's slower. So I still think we can get a Rabasca win here, but he's got the Quagsire down. So both players are starting to see their win conditions coming out to play. He U-turns, kind of losing his Beast Boost. A little unfortunate. I think, how do you handle the Quagsire? Oh, but it's recovered. So it looks like he's going to try and Toxic this thing down. And once this Quagsire falls, it's name bad words game to lose. The Rabasca comes out. Is he going to do the Trick Room Revival Blessing trick? And if he does, who's he going to give it to? He does Revival Blessing. Does he go into the Marowak? Hold up. Did he just Revival Blessing into himself? I didn't even know that it was an option. I thought you had to Revival Blessing heal Pokemon back. I didn't know you could just like give yourself more HP. That's crazy. He starts Psychicking. Gets the special defense drop on the Skarmory. Oh, no. Okay, I understand what happened. So he Revival Blessing the Marowak. I thought it would switch the Marowak in though, but no, it's just on the bench and healthy and ready to go at 50% HP. So I'm saying right now the Wonder of You is looking in shape. He's looking in great shape. I say you need to Trick Room here. He does. He Trick Rooms, brings in the Marowak, gets the Flare Blitz, gets taunted, so he's not going to be able to Swords Dance here. Earthquakes. So I guess without the thick club, the Marowak just isn't doing enough damage. If he did not get knocked off, then he would be winning, but I don't know if the Wonder of You can save this game with a neutered Marowak. Is he Earthquake again? He Flare Blitzes again. How many times is he going to successfully switch this Toxipex into Flare Blitzes? So at this point, I think what Garrett is trying to do is he's trying to remove these Pokemon without leaving a Beast Boosted Pheromosa out on the field to get counter swept with. Okay, so he goes Skarmory. This faints. And he goes Toxipex. So now the Ditto's going to copy the Toxipex. Does the Pheromosa have what it takes to beat the Toxipex? So he knocks it off. What does he reveal? He reveals he knocked off a Choice Scarf. Now the Ditto's kind of free to do whatever it wants. In fact, this Ditto is more dangerous than before. And that's game. So we're gonna skip to the end now. This is boring. This is a pretty simple game. Cut and dry at the end. That was fun. I liked it. Interesting ending. You don't see a lot of endings like that. All right, next we're gonna go into the Black Dog versus the Cowboy himself. So some early predictions. I always tell people, look out for the Dandozo on this team. If you don't have an answer for that, then it's game. You've already lost. The only Terra-type Pokemon available in this match are the Avalugg and the Frostmoth, so you can expect Terras from them. Can we get some early Terra-type predictions in the chat? Let's see. And then overall power levels, I think the Black Dog just has an overall more powerful team. However, it's close. Magearna and the Roaring Moon are incredibly powerful Pokemon. Charizard Y is fantastic. An early knockoff, removing the Focus Sash. A lead Focus Sash Tyrantrum tells me that definitely wasn't the Terra user. It maybe was intended to get some early Stealth Rocks up, which versus a team like the Black Dog, I think is a very wise decision. So he goes into the Frostmoth, a Quiver Dance special attacker, which is responded with a Blissey. The most classic specially defensive wall ever. Now going into the Elderly Dragon, which by the way, is a sick name. A chatter says, Dandozo can win the game if he has an answer for the Magnet. Absolutely. If you get rid of the Magnezone, you probably win this game. Or was I? Yeah, I think going into the Roaring Moon on the Blissey is probably a bad idea because there could easily be like a Thunder Wave or something handling you there. Thunderbolt doing 50% the Magearna as the Aura Sphere does 25 to the Magnezone. Now you need to play this Magnezone a lot carefully. Again, this is your Dandozo answer, and you've let it take 25% damage. It's not useless now, but the Black Dog is playing much more carefully after that. As the Weather Ball comes out, and the Shadow Ball hits Burn Guy. And, you know, I'm not going to say that was the best use of Fluttermane, but it didn't do nothing. It dropped the special defense, it brought the Mega Pokemon down to 20%, it's doing well, as we now have a wall versus wall situation. Let's see which wall feels more comfortable on the field. As of right now, it appears to be the Dandozo, who clearly has the sauce to beat the Blizzy. So we knock off the leftovers. Dandozo has lost some of its recovery, and clearly has the move pool to handle a lot of these Pokemon. It can handle the Blissey, it can handle the Avalugg, it can handle the Pinsir. He needs to be very, very careful. It looks like his classic Curse Rest set, so I don't think he has any more moves. I think the Great Tusk is able to move in very well, but that's not going to KO. That's just, honestly, it's setup bait. He needs to find a way to get the Magnezone in safely and KO. At this point, if he can get the Magnezone, at this point, like, let's say, all right, let's see if the Magnezone dies here. Let's see what the Magnezone dies here. Rock Slide does 7%. Does he get a KO here? Now he's looking like every time, ooh, okay. Every time Magnezone comes on the field, Cowboy needs to be nervous because he has to switch and basically give free damage to the Black Dog. As now we're Seismic Tossing, and I think this is a good position for the Black Dog. We got some Terra Grass, Giga Draining going on here, which isn't bad, but just Blissey isn't your best matchup. This is like the Frostmoth counter, or one of the best. Unless you went for like a Terra Fighting Terra Blast Frostmoth, which could have been awesome. But yeah, the Frostmoth just kind of gets handled. I would have maybe moved into the Roaring Moon there and tried to force it out with some physical pressure. Goes back into the Magnezone, KOing. Now, the Black Dog is very nervous. The Dandozo is now free to start cursing. If he doesn't have like a Toxic, he needs to like, this is a very bad position. Yeah, that body press damage is coming out hard. Maybe the Aerial Lake can come in and do something. Close Combat doing 22%. The Dandozo can now rest. Oh, does he not have rest this week? Well, if he did have rest, he played it wrong. And the Dandozo has managed to be handled. Now, this is looking like the Black Dog's game to lose. He's got the speed. He's got the type advantages. He jaw locked him? There are some really cool jaw lock sets. It didn't go that well for Cowboy, but there's some really cool jaw lock stuff you can do, trapping your opponent and then boosting. As the quick attack, the Aerial Aid boosted quick attack comes out and finishes that game 2-0. That was a fun one. Wasn't the best, but I did enjoy that match greatly. That was pretty cool. When this match came in, the chat instantly lit up, and I knew we had a good replay on our hands. So, from what I understand, this is bad. I'm not sure exactly what makes it bad, but let's find out. So, a Grimstar lead, David, still leading Grimstar every week, immediately gets the taunt down on Orthworm, preventing the Shed Tail. As good as gold. The Reflect comes out, and the Heavy Slam only does 42%, meaning if Zelda did that earlier, she would have done something like 84% damage and almost one-hit KO'd the Grimsnarl. So this is the second match ever from Zelda Catbug, and so continuing to Heavy Slam, David does a good job switching into that and getting a free speed boost from weak armor there. I think that was very nice. But Zelda then follows that up with a Shed Tail on the Swords Dance. So both players kind of got something out of it. One got boosted, one got a substitute. But Zelda kind of gets some momentum out of that, being able to go into its type advantageous Pokemon. As then it kind of stalls out some Protect. I guess Zelda's not really sure how to respond to this. Maybe that's a panic move from an early player, just like, Protect. Or maybe they're sort of baiting out what moves to be expecting. But it's a Swords Dance weak armor set. You can expect them to spam Blitter Blade. Blister Blade? Buster Blader? Whatever. Knockoff comes out, continuing to boost the weak armor, but not getting the KO. Cerule Edge is looking dangerous. 3 times boost, ends up Shadow Sneaking when it just gets Commonium Z'd, doing the clangorous Soul Blaze, completely flipping all the momentum of this match. Now having an Omni Boost, as the Grimstar sets up a Reflect and falls down to an Aura Sphere. So it looks like a special Komodo who didn't have enough speed at +1 to outspeed a Victini and then just gets Psychicked down. So once again, for the third time this match, all of the momentum has turned tables. As we see more protecting from the Lantern. I know what it's expecting, what it's trying to avoid. As it goes into Terra Steel in front of the Fire type, very dangerous decision, as now it can kind of V-create and get free KOs. Now going into the Dracovish on a Pokemon that is potentially water absorbed is very, very dangerous. you don't know what this is. You might just be feeding free HP into this lantern. You have to be careful. But it seems David is confident and instead outrages, uses a dragon type move into the Pokemon who is now Terra Steeled versus a team with 3 steel types on it. Very, very interesting. But you know, hey, maybe he switched into the Altaria and he caught it. As now the V-Creates are coming out. Now he's putting a lot of pressure on. There's only one switch on Zelda's team, and that's her Altaria Dragon. So maybe if she goes into the Altaria here, which she does, and then see, she resists it. That's 36% damage. That's very nice. As the frustration comes out, but she thinks she was like Pixelate Mega Altaria maybe. I think that's maybe what she was going for with that. Heavy Slam comes out, only doing 6%. You maybe want to set up like a Shed Tail there. As the Melmetal comes out, Melmetal, see, a lot of steel on steel damage. So we've successfully Shed-Tailed into the Genesect, revealing a Blaze Kick. And while it does have the type advantage, it doesn't have the stat line advantage, right? It's a physical move coming versus Melmetal's like 130, 140, 150 defense stat, something like that. So it just tanks that for days and looks dangerous. Yeah, it reveals Earthquake. Oh, it reveals Earthquake. And Earthworm is Earth Eater. Are we gonna see some Earth Eaters being fed into the Earthworm? That'd be very interesting. So the Melmetal does manage to fall. As Aerodactyl gets revealed, it has a huge speed advantage. Another Blaze Kick. Was this like a Choice Banded Genesect? That's kind of interesting. Is then dual Wing Beated down. Interesting. Yeah, this was a bit of a rough week. So I started with my Dark Magician Girl, and I figured I could pretty much tank anything on the team and then just teleport and maybe have an advantageous position. I could like Scald or teleport on anything. As you find out at the end of the game, my flaw was I didn't prep enough for the Tapu Fini. I did have a prep for it, but it didn't go the way I wanted it to, and we'll talk about that later. I expected this to be more of an Aurora Veil type set. But it ended up being some sort of Giga Draining offensive set with like Ice Beam and Leech Seed. I end up missing a Poltergeist here, but it doesn't really matter because we end up seeing that the Poltergeist next turn does like no damage. So I would have done like 60%, but I really needed up a lot more. So I go in, try and pressure the Lake Effect out, which was successful. And then I start setting up with my Moltres here. As I get a speed boost, and then I'm pressured out by the Tapu Fini, and Cerulean expects that, sets up a substitute. He starts Calm Minding. So let's talk about what my plan was. My plan was thinking he'd maybe Moonblast, and the Iron Moth would take that. And then I thought maybe he'd Scald on the next turn or something. When I built this team, I was trying to make the Iron Moth switch in on like a Scald or a Surf or something from a Tapu Fini and actually trigger a weakness policy. And then I could like Agility and sweep through his whole team that way. I was planning on an Iron Moth Agility weakness policy sweep. But that did not go as planned for me, as I ended up getting swept by a Calm Mind Tapu Fini. I was worried about that. My Moltres was actually EV'd to outspeed Choice Scarf or Shifu after 1 Agility, and could have KO'd with Air Slash. Although, it's pretty fantastic that actually happened, because it's not often my prediction comes out correctly. This is our last match, so stay tuned. We're going to be ending the stream very soon. And it starts freeze drying. So I thought this was interesting. Mousehold population bombs could potentially, break through here. I don't know how. I don't think Scarf beats the Speed Boost Iron Bundle, but maybe like an Endure Custap or something like that. It is possible for the Mousehold to beat the Iron Bundle if built in such a specific manner. And when you're facing a Shed-Tail team and have Population Bomb as an option, it's not a bad option if you ask me. Ice Beam starts taking down. Iron Bundle's got 2 KOs. T-Tar might actually have what it takes to threaten an Iron Bundle out. And, it's funny. I hate on these booster energy sets a lot, but it looks like Meek doesn't take the advice. He's like, yes, so what if I lose my speed boost when I switch out? I'm not switching out. Leaves the Iron Bundle in. I watched this pretty much until it dies. Just doesn't care, wants to keep his speed boost. And the Iron Bundle goes down. I don't think that's the best decision, as it pretty much solos the rest of the team. Very good Heatran answer, as the Latias comes in and Terra Steel, Mantine Terra Steel is revealed. Here's how I feel about this. Steel Mantine is great in the Latias matchup. However, it is bad versus the Heatran and the Gliscor and everything else. I would have left the Mantine to be my answer to the rest of the team and maybe have gone into the Tapu Koko. But I think Mantine is very essential for beating the remainder of Hazy's team. Heatran comes in, probably easily Magma Storms for some chip. Hits the Tapu Koko with a Magma Storm, doing 68%, then the Magma Storm chip. The Tapu Koko maybe set some screens here. Gliscor comes out, good switch, eats that for days. turns out, doesn't set up the screens, back into the Mantine, who can now get Earthquaked, knocks off, loses the leftovers. Does Mantine get KO'd this game? Do we go Mantine-less? As it does. See, this is why I think the Terra Steel is a dangerous position to be in. Hawlucha comes out, gets its Unburden boost, gets its Electric Steed defense boost, gets a KO with the now boosted Acrobatics, and Drain Punches the Heatran for 62% damage. Ironhead unable to do anything. It's a neutral attack versus a defensively boosted monster. Also revealing that was a mixed Heatran, which is just a sin. That is a sin of a set. Is it mixed Heatran, Ironhead, Magma Storm? Just ew. That's disgusting. That is a cursed set. I'm sorry, Elijah. We gotta talk about special versus physical at some point. Now Hawlucha, it's got the power to break through here, I guess. It's gonna be a while though. It takes a while to break through something like this. And then there it is, ending that. Thanks for coming to the stream, guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye.